investors got basically nothing in
I want to
return.
share
It
this
raised
with you.
Lots of questions.
It's absolutely bonkers.
Anyways, what you're looking at here is a breakdown of the 4 silos, along with the ownership stakes that Sam, Gary, Nishad, and other investors had in them. If you're just listening in, Sam held 53% of the FTX US silo, 90% of the Alameda silo, 67% of the Ventures silo, and 75% of the FTX Global silo. Third-party investors only held 22% of the FTX US silo and 25%.
1 second. Yeah. Now, I thought this problem with FTX was it gone bankrupt, been lending money to Alameda, and they've been wasting it. But as you can see on screen, there's 4. Right? And that's a different number. And the reason why I'm pausing this is, you know how the Securities and Exchange Commission of America has been like squashing the nuts of crypto about regulation and all the rest of it? Yeah, well, I'm sorry. Get your own house in order. Because, as you're going to see in a minute,
% of the FTX Global silo. The rest was owned by the trio. John also provides a corporate structure chart for these silos and their subsidiaries. Now, there's honestly too much information to go over here, and it's also kind of pointless to summarize, since John cautions that it's preliminary, i.e. incomplete.
Yeah.
A link to the full bankruptcy filing will be in the description if you want to take a closer look. The company organization chart.
This is the Coin Bureau I'm recording.
Anyways, John
it's important
to give a detailed breakdown of each of the 4 silos, starting with the FTX US one. He begins by explaining that the FTX US exchange itself had over 1 million users and was registered with the Department of the Treasury as a money.
The Treasury. Let's get that right.
But one of the subsidiaries of FTX US was registered with the SEC. Some of you may have heard
the SEC.
Peculiar connections between FTX, Alameda Research, and the SEC via Sam and Alameda CEO Caroline Ellison. I reckon this SEC registration is another.
This is the reason why I'm sharing this.
After talking about other subsidiaries that were owned and operated by the FTX,
the Securities and Exchange Commission have been kind of squeezing the balls. Not a nice term, but they have of crypto, and it's someone's got to say something.
Appears to have just under $400,000 of liabilities, that is, debt. John notes that this can't possibly be accurate, given that FTX US presumably held billions of dollars in user assets, which would count as liabilities, but are not noted in the balance sheet report. Next, John gives a detailed breakdown of the Alameda silo. As with the FTX US silo, John casts doubt on the idea that Alameda Research had $13.5 billion in assets and just $5 billion of liabilities. This is again because the balance sheet report was provided by Sam and unaudited like the others.
That's crazy.
Silo,
unaudited.
Into 2 for the 2 major subsidiaries of the silo. Together, these 2 subsidiaries had $2 billion in assets and an almost equal amount in liabilities, though John says it is once again unknown.
That looks like 1.52.
Last but not least,
so not quite 2 billion.
Global silo, and John admits that his team
still a lot of money though.
How many users the FTX exchange actually had. All they know for now is that Sam claimed FTX had, quote, millions of users who had over $15 billion of crypto on the exchange at the end of 2021. The most likely cooked books claim that FTX had over $2.25 billion of assets versus less than $500,000.
Was that property? Was that machinery?
FTX's liabilities were exponentially larger due to the billions of dollars of customer assets that were on the exchange. The second part of the bankruptcy filing explains the events that happened shortly before the filing itself took place. John explains that the freeze on FTX's assets by Bahamas regulators shortly before the bankruptcy filing only applied to one of the subsidiaries of the FTX Global silo. Explains a lot.
Not the four.
As for Sam, he was consulting with numerous lawyers, including his own father, about his resignation as CEO and the commencement of FTX's bankruptcy. At around 4:30 a.m. on the 11th of November, Sam conceded defeat and handed over control of
The thing is, though, how did he slide so fast?
For Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
32 billion.
This ties into the third part.
That's a massive amount of money.
Explains what John has done since that point. The first thing he did was establish a governance structure for FTX and each of its four silos, something you'll recall as being the first of the 5 Chapter 11 bankruptcy objectives. John explains that he and the newly appointed directors of the 4 silos will work together to meet all 5 objectives of the Chapter 11 bankruptcy. He acknowledges that this will be easier said than done, as all 4 silos
How does a
are
$32 billion
interrelated
company
on the same assets.
get wiped out?
John then dives deeper
That's
into
incredible.
FTX's financials, and many of his findings made the headlines. The first finding was that FTX did not keep track of its cash balances, bank accounts, or the people who oversaw.
Yeah, because they were chopping money between FTX
Also,
and
didn't
Alameda.
consider the quality of banks they were using. John explains that his team will
Personal
do their best to
loans.
find FTX's cash and transfer it all to financial institutions in the United States. Naturally, each silo will have its own account.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, I'm shocked at the 4 silos.
Cash transfers will only occur if they can be done, quote, without adverse consequences. I wonder what that means. Conspiracies aside, so
By the
far,
way,
John has
this is not
built up over 2,000
financial
bank
advice.
accounts around the world
No,
that collectively hold
it's just a
over
bloke
$500
talking
billion
about
in cash.
the
federal
crazy
banks
stuff
have been
that's
instructed to
happened.
freeze all these
And
accounts
me.
and not to process
Don't forget
withdrawals
me.
for Sam or other signatories. Now, if you thought FTX's bank account situation was sketchy, consider the company's financial reporting. While the FTX US silo was being properly audited, the FTX Global silo was being audited by a questionable
Oh no,
firm
man, he's getting
that claimed to
metaverse.
be the first to open offices
Oh
in
no,
Decentraland.
downer.
To add insult to injury, John couldn't find any audited financial statements for the Alameda silo or the Ventures silo. He admits that it's going to take some time to accumulate accurate financial information about the 4 silos. Something tells me that those balance sheets will have a lot of black holes. Did I mention?
You know, the thing is, right, the absolutely disgusting, shocking thing. The one about this on, like, the rich magazines, Forbes, etc., Bloomberg, you know, $32 billion company. And somehow it's filing for bankruptcy. Now, like they say, right? I mean, I've heard many different versions, but here's this one. Securities and Exchange Commission in America, you've been trying your very best over, what, from 2017 onwards to crush and be in charge, regulate cryptocurrency. And where a market could have blossomed, damn, you've crushed it. You've proper crushed it. Because you didn't understand it. You know, there is fiat currency, pound, dollar, and others. But there's also digital as well. And you missed the boat.